Hello folks and welcome to another video, this time reviewing a wired headset from Razer. This is the Razer Kraken and this is the ultimate headset version of that. So what do you get when you buy one of these wired headsets and what's its best use scenario, along with how good is it? So let's first of all start off with the design. I'll disconnect this bit for now. So it's green, but you can get it in other colours, but I quite like it in green. There's no RGB, which doesn't really matter because it's on your head, so you won't see it anyway. You've got this microphone here that pulls out, and then you can angle it around to your mouth. Should fit most people unless you've got a particularly big head, and then you can just pop it back in there for when you're not using it, which is the case for me most of the time. The headband is adjustable, so it goes from 1 right up to 5. Again, you'd need to have a pretty big head to make it go all the way up to 5. I tend to leave it on 3. That's pretty comfortable. Speaking of comfort, it does have this nice padding in here and also this nice padding around the ear cups, which means that over a long period of time, while still not completely comfortable because it is something completely covering your ears, it is pretty good. And you've even got some range of movement in the cups here themselves so that they can sit comfortably on your head. So design-wise, I quite like it, and in terms of comfort, it's really good. Now, I can't really show you how good the sound is because it won't come across on a YouTube speaker, but it is actually, the sound is really rather good from these. You probably pay between £50 and £60 for a pair of these, and you know, it's only got obviously 2 speakers in there, it's stereo, but the sound is excellent. Bass reproduction and whatnot is really good as well. Now, another big selling point is that you get access to THX Spatial Technologies, which comes from Razer, because Razer have bought THX. Now, you'll probably remember THX as being from the Star Wars films, is what you'd have seen it primarily in the beginning. It make that boo sound really loud. If you just search THX Sound on YouTube, there's tons of videos of that. This is sticky on the back here, so you can stick it on your desk or whatever, and it stays in place then. I use it with a laptop, so I don't really want it stuck down all the time. You've got options here for bass, how you can have it less or more. You can turn off the microphone there, volume up and down. There is also volume up and down on built in here as well. And you can turn the spatial sound on and off. Certain older games don't play well with having spatial sound on. And then you've got a little indicator light just next to the THX symbol that will tell you whether it's on or off. You can also adjust sound between your game or between your microphone. So you can toggle that up and down, and then you can get the perfect balance. For example, if you're playing Fortnite, you're going to want to hear what your teammates say, but you're more so going to hear what's going on around you. Now, in order to get the THX sound, you either have to pay separately, or if you have one of these, you just plug it in. And then, to be honest, any headset that goes into that will work just fine with it. But I like to use the Razer headsets because, in my experience, the build quality on them is excellent. And they also look quite nice. I've got to say, I think it looks quite cool. It stands out. And it's not ridiculously expensive, despite being of a pretty decent sound quality. Now, as there's only 2 speakers in the headset, 1 for each ear, this is a kind of virtual surround sound where it kind of maps the sound to what it thinks. So if it's really quiet, it might be behind you. If it's louder, it would be in front, for example. And then left and right is obviously easy to do with the positional speakers that are in there. They did used to sell a headset which actually had 7 speakers in there, but it was hard to get set up correctly, and oftentimes people said didn't actually benefit them that much having that. Also, you need to get a sound card then that's capable of driving 7 independent speakers, which these days not a lot of them are necessarily capable of that, especially on a laptop. So this sort of virtual spatial sound from this little box here works really, really well. Again, this is also of a decent, solid construction too. So what is the best use for these headphones? Well, I would say the best use is probably if you're sat at a desktop or if you're sat sort of in front of a laptop. If you're one of these people like me who plays your desktop computer on a TV or on a large monitor with some distance between you, it's probably not ideal. You could, of course, get a USB extension lead, but if the, sorry, not USB, audio extension lead. But of course, as you do that, you risk degradation of the sound. And of course, you've got cables going everywhere then. So if you're going to use it at your desktop, sat there right in front of the monitor, or with a laptop, these are perfect. So what would I give these out of 10? And to be honest with you, I'd have to give them a 10 out of 10. I can see no downside to them, unless, of course, you're not a fan of the design. But overall, they're, like I said, they're extremely comfortable, high quality sound. You get THX Spatial Sound then in the games that support it anyway. And it's just a really good headset, especially if you're a PC gamer. It also, because it has this little jack here, means you could use it with Windows Sonic if you wanted to, or you could plug it into your PS5 controller and then get 3D audio through these. Same as you could plug this into your VR headset, although how well it will play because of its size, I don't know. But I'll be doing a review very soon on PS5's 3D audio, and then I'll give you an update because I'll be using these headphones for that, as well as maybe some other headphones just to give a test, but I'll probably be primarily using these. Although I have positional surround sound in my living room, it's still quite cool sometimes to be able to just have it in your headset and then you're not bothering everyone. For example, if you're playing at night. But that's a story for another video. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to give me a thumbs up, type me out a comment, subscribe to my channel, share this video on social media, and feel free to check out my Patreon as well. I'd like to say thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day.